Hello everyone and welcome back. Dom here. Thanks so much for stopping by for yet another video. And on this video, I'm going to check out a brand new plugin for you. Today, I'm going to check out the Softube Weiss EQ1. The Weiss EQ1 is a really legendary EQ. If you've ever been into a mastering studio, there are high chances that you've seen it. It's also a super expensive piece of gear. So when Softube dropped the brand new plugin, I was like, now I'm gonna try this for sure. This is supposed to be a one-to-one, line-to-line code port from the original, because of course the original is a digital EQ, so you don't really need to emulate transformers and tubes and all those things that are really difficult to emulate. This is a digital EQ and it's supposed to sound exactly the same. So I'm definitely interested because I've used this EQ quite a few times in the past and I love it. It's such a wonderful EQ, and if this sounds as good as the original, I have to say it's gonna be really hard to resist getting it. So let's find out, let's jump into Cubase and let's see if this sounds good. Okay, so let's listen to it. Here I have my latest release. I've removed all the mastering plugins that I've used. I'm only using my hardware black box, my analog unit right there, as the first thing in the chain, and then we go straight to the Weiss. One thing that you should know about this processor is that you have two modes. You have the dynamic mode and also have the linear phase mode. Now, the linear phase mode is more suitable for mastering. It has the least phase distortion. It introduces some pre-ringing, but it's supposed to be great for mastering and it works really great. But the dynamic mode is equally interesting, and I'm going to show you why. I've never tried this before, so I'm going to see if my memory and my instinct, drives me the correct way. First of all, let me try the filter, because I really like the filter on this EQ. Let's try this. Oh yeah. That sounds good. That's a really nice, clean filter. I love it. Let's try the linear phase mode. Dynamic mode again. So even on the filter, you can hear a noticeable difference when I sweep the cutoff frequency between the two modes. Very interesting, very nice work. Let's see. Let's say I want to enhance this track, right? Yeah, let's try with the linear phase mode, and I'm going to straight away go mid-side. Okay, I'm going to go mid-side because that's how I like using this EQ. That's how I like working in mastering in general. I take advantage of the mid and side signals. If you want me to do a mastering video or something like that, let me know in the comments down below. Let's try and add a little bit of low end first. Okay, let's try and do this. Yeah, very nice, very smooth low end. It also doesn't really distort when I push it. Check it out. Gives you nice low end. Of course, this is not how I would use it in a real mastering scenario. I'm exaggerating a little bit so I can hear the character of the plugin. Now let's move on to the mid-range. Let's try and make this a little bit more prominent, a little bit more loud with the mid-range sculpting, right? Let's go like this. Now, one thing that you should be aware is that this ganged mode basically links the controls to both channels. In this case, because I'm using this EQ as mid-side, so I'm taking the mid signal and the side signal and I'm compressing them separately. Let's go ahead and turn off gang mode. And as you can see, this is my mid and these are my sides. And this is a really cool trick to make your track sound wider with more depth. And you can even solo the bands. Let's check it out. Now let's go to our sides. This is where all my synths live. Let's go ahead and add some top end. Very nice. Let's go back to the mids. Yes, yes. It sounds really nice. It sounds really clean, smooth. It gives you that mid-range presence that can give you that perceived loudness in your track. I love this. It's really, really nice. Oh man. Here we have an advanced mode, which doesn't work if you're not into the dynamic EQ mode. Now, one cool thing that I found out that Softube have done in this EQ is that they have added this button that of course is not there on the original one, and this makes it like more of a an interface that you're used to with plugins. You can basically grab the bands and move them around, and you can right click and change the parameters. So this is very useful because some people like to work this way. I like both ways, to be honest with you. I find that sometimes using the knobs makes me feel more like I'm controlling the hardware. I like that I can go back and forth between this and this view, because sometimes I prefer this, especially when I want to use my AI knob on my CC121. It works perfect with the Weiss EQ. And of course, it also works with Softube Console 1. That's even more hands-on. So, I don't think about it. Just have my hand on the AI knob, and then I just hover my mouse over the controls, and I can close my eyes and listen to the sound. Let's keep going. Let's keep adding a little bit of color to this mix. This low end is incredible. Check it out. That sounds good. All right, let's keep going. Oh man, I can find all the elements of my mix. My hi-hats, my synths, my sweeps, my noise sweeps, all these things. This sounds pretty nice. And it looks like I'm adding too much. I wouldn't do it. I just want to show you guys how it sounds. But, 3 dBs. You can hear those 3 dBs on this EQ. Now, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go for a B version of this EQ. And in this case, I'm going to keep it on dynamic mode. Because this is a very, very cool thing. Dynamic EQs can be your secret weapons when you are doing mastering or even mixing, This is an extremely good dynamic EQ. So let me try it on the plugin and let's see if it reacts the same way. So Dynamic EQ, let's say that we want to enhance the low end, maybe just our kick drum. So why don't we go into the large screen? I think this will benefit from this. And let's figure out our low end. I'm going to go for a bell in this case. And let's have a narrower cue. I'm going to enhance the kick drum, see? This one here. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so now that I've identified my kick drum, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into dynamic mode. And this is how you do this. You click on this, and I want to open all the options that we have here. And now, if I keep soloing this band, now we can hear what's going on with the dynamic EQ. Now, in this case, what I want to do is I don't want to compress, I want to enhance the kick drum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from ratio 10:1. This is going to do gain reduction. I'm going to go the other way around, and I'm going to go, let's say, 2:1 so that we can hear it very easily. We have the attack, so how fast this will react. Let's see. See? Now I'm going to play with the threshold a little bit. I want to try and make sure that we only affect the kick drums as much as we can. Boom. And now, release, attack. Yes. And now we unsolo this. So now, basically, whenever we have the kick drum hitting, we get a nice boost in the volume of that EQ. Let's exaggerate a little bit. And I'm going to go a little bit narrower cue, like that. Without it, let's go quicker, release. See how this enhances the kick drum. Now, of course, this is way too far. I would never do this on a mastering unless there were big problems. But damn, this sounds good. Well, what can I say? I hope this helps you understand a little bit of the sound that you can get out of the Weiss EQ1. I think if you're doing mastering, this is an invaluable tool. To me, it sounds like I remember the original. I don't have it right here to compare, to do an A/B test, but this to me sounds incredible. And it's always a different thing. Analog EQs give you a different flavor, and digital EQs also have something really, really important to bring to the table. So thank you guys for joining me for this plugin test with me. I literally went through it as I was making this video. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about the Weiss EQ? Is this a tool that you would add to your collection of plugins? Do you have other EQs that you like for mastering? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed this, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification icon as well. It's really important, guys. Until next time, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.